Hello, everyone. Welcome to the presentation. My name is Randy Lindsay. I'm from MT4Professional, and today we're going to talk about trading strategies using the MT4 Professional Scanner. If you have any questions or comments during today's presentation, on the GoToWebinar control panel on the right-hand side is a questions pane. Please enter your question or comment there, and I'll be more than glad to get to them in the order that they are received. I want to make sure that everyone here knows that we are here for educational purposes only, that MT4 Professional and Resilient Traders are not registered trading advisors, so we cannot give you any specific trade advice. What we can do is teach and train you how to use our remarkable platform in order to set up and make a trading plan that is both consistently profitable and successful. We can teach and train you how we use our platform as well. Trading with futures, stocks, forex options, and cryptocurrency has a large potential for reward, and you can make a lot of money. It also has a large potential for risk, and you can lose a lot of money. So make sure you do not trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Understand the risks involved before you start placing any money on the table. Past performance is not indicative of future results, so make sure that you get advice from a competent financial advisor before you start trading or investing in any of these markets. And never ever trade in a live account until you have first proven you can consistently and profitably trade in a simulated account. And only then will you be able to start tackling the mind game. Again, I'm Randy Lindsay, your trade coach, operations director today. Claudio Cardinal is joining me. He's our product development director and technology guru and the brainchild behind the MT4 Professional platform. Today, we're going to talk about trading strategies using MT4 Professional platform. We're going to talk about what a market scanner is and what MT4 Professional is all about. I'll give you a live demonstration of exactly how everything works and how it's set up. I'll make a very special offer, especially since today is a holiday, Memorial Day. We like to pull back the curtains and show you a little bit more and give you a little bit better discounts. So stick around for the special offer. And of course, you'll always have questions and answers available throughout the presentation today. A lot of popular trading strategies that are available and that are being used by many of our users are as follows. The EMA and price is a pure price action strategy that looks for price to be relative to a exponential moving average. So if price is greater or less than, it gives out specific buy or sell signals. MACD and signal, it's a moving average convergence divergence indicator that's readily available, very popular. Coupled with a moving average signal line gives some pretty amazing entry or potentially exit signals. The moving average crossover is probably the most popular, where you've got several moving averages together that cross each other, and the interaction with each other at different speeds give you trend information, directionality, and potential trade opportunities. You can always throw any of these together to make your own setup or strategy, where you've got an EMA and price, a MACD and signal, even a relative strength indicator. If you're into Ichimoku or Bollinger Bands, well, that you could combine any of those together to find out the strengths and weaknesses of those, to find a unique edge in a system that you've put together. And there's always the ever popular alligator, which is a much more stable, longer term trading strategy, looking at a series of 3 different moving averages that work together over time to give you entry for daily, weekly, or even monthly type time frames. The MT4 Professional Scanner can scan in real time all of these strategies, plus many more, and alert you when the conditions are met for a trade. So let's pull a quick poll. Just want to find out of the people that are in the class today, are you currently using MT4 Professional? So if you are currently a user, that's going to help me in the rest of the presentation, because that way I'll find out if the majority of the class are currently using it, then I can spend a lot more time on the specifics and a lot less time on any of the presentation. All right, so far we've got it's neck and neck. All right, good. Good, okay. Got about 50 seconds. 55, about 5 more seconds, and I'll go ahead and close it down. Looks like half of you don't want to vote. I understand. It would be good, helpful if you could, but all right. So let's go ahead and close this now, and I'll share it with you. Let you see that. You can see it's pretty evenly distributed, but the clear majority is that you're not a user, but you want to know more about it. You haven't had time to try it, or you're not sure if you need it or not. Well, hopefully you'll be sure before the end of today's presentation. So let's get right into it. What is a market scanner, and what is MT4Professional? If you think about the symbols and the timeframes that you have at your disposal on MT4 platform, there are 50 forex pairs, 20 CFDs, 9 timeframes. That's more than 630 combinations of symbols that you want to be checking. Well, do you really think that you can do this manually? How often do you miss opportunities because you're out there trying to search for specific trades that are setting up or trying to move, and you're just not there at the right time? So trading on different instruments is really important, and it's a must if you want to make trading profitable in today's environment. In fact, trading uncorrelated instruments is a way to remove uncertainty of an instrument while diversifying your portfolio. So if you had a market scanner that could automatically scan the myriad of combinations that we discussed earlier for you automatically, it would definitely find a lot more opportunities than you'd be able to. So what is a market scanner? It's a tool that allows you to scan the market at a glance at any time for any symbol or time frame, following your own custom rules based on standard or custom indicators that you want to use. So while it's not a signal provider, it is a tool that allows you to analyze all the strategies that you want using all the indicators that you are currently using now. A simple example of a strategy and a scanner is the cross of 2 moving averages. The image on the right shows that for every symbol that you see on the list here, the spreadsheet layout for the multiple time frames will be given a green color if you have a bullish cross. That's the 15 period EMA crossing over the 30 period EMA. And it will be red if you have a bearish cross. That's a 15 period crossing under the 30 period moving average. So very quickly, with a spreadsheet layout like this for any symbol or time frame, I can quickly see the instruments that are bullish, bearish, in transition, ready to go, and potential setup. So it's very easy to see from this setup which opportunities are available to me. Another example would be looking at a EMA and price. So instead of looking at the moving average, we'd be looking at pure price action. So a market scanner that can scan for this type of setup gives me 2 advantages. One, it allows me to focus on the more important things of my trade rather than trying to find a trade. This finds the trades for me, and I can focus on getting my mind where it belongs or managing any trades that I might already be on. So once it's set up, The scanner searches for the conditions that I give it, lets me know whether it is ready to go or not, either through alerts or through setups, through email, or whatever it might be. So when the price action closes greater than the EMA, I should get a green cell telling me there is a bullish move on that time frame. When I look at the time frame relative to the bullish move, then I can see a lot of information about a potential trade setting up. For example, the Euro US dollar is bullish in the 1 minute, bearish in the 5 minute, and bullish in the 15. Well, the 15 minutes longer term, the 1 minute must have just changed, so it looks like the 5 minute might be next in going in line. So when the 5 minute aligns with the 1 and the 3 minute, then that would be a really good opportunity for a continuation move to the long side. Vice versa, you can see the same thing on the short side. Here you see the bond going red, this one going red. So if the 15 minute in this case goes red, that shows me I have a confirmed longer term downward move. And you can see the ones that are already in confirmed downward moves or upward moves. So it's really easy to see this. You don't have to worry about looking for anything because it's already here presented to you. Sorry about that. And we talk a lot about multiple time frames, but I want to show you why. Did you know that if you trade using multiple time frames, you have a higher probability of a profitable trade? Well, it's due to correlation. It's just one of the advantages of using multiple time frame technical analysis. Let's look at the image to the right here. For an example, you can see it's a 15-minute, an hourly, and 4-hour chart profiles. You can see that the 15-minute chart, or if you use a 5 or 1 minute, you can even imagine what it looks like. This is very noisy and choppy, and you can see there's a lot of noise overlaying the envelope of the profile. The hourly chart smooths it out just a little bit, showing you the periods of trending during the periods of chop for that 15. But the 4-hour smooths it out even more. And you can see very quickly that if you're trading the 15-minute in the direction of the longer term 4-hour chart, you're going to have a higher probability of a profitable trade if you're trading in the direction of this longer term trend. So any long moves would be held, any short moves would be held as well because you're still in the overall longer term direction. So if you had a market scanner then that could search for setups that are based on your own rules and verified by multiple time frame technical analysis, it would prove to be an extremely valuable tool. Here's a quick example of that using multiple time frames and the strategy. Here we've got price action and a moving average, so you're looking at pure price action relative to that. Here is the MACD crossover with signal line. So the histogram is the regular MACD signal. And you've got a relative strength to show us an extremely oversold or extremely overbought condition, or to show us if it's building with strength. The strategy is to see if price closes greater than the EMA, if there is a bullish cross on the MACD, and if the relative strength is growing, building, i.e. the slope of the relative strength is going up. That would be bullish. And so I want to be able to see that. So in this particular case, I've got a bullish, bullish, bullish signal on all three of my indicators telling me this is a potentially good entry point. However, I need validation that I'm going in the right direction. So on my second time frame, I need to see a bullish MACD cross on my daily. That was a 4-hour chart. So my daily needs to give me a bullish indication. And my weekly chart, I need to see that the relative strength is trending bullishly. Not only is it coming out of an extremely oversold condition, but it is trending long and trending with strength. So those are the conditions I'm looking for to trade and to take this opportunity. So this particular opportunity was taken, and 300 pips later was a profitable trade. So you can see that the analysis here is strong and is good, and that's how you prove a strategy, is by going and exercising the rules that you have for that strategy and then validating it and taking and exercising the trade. So by taking trades that are in harmony with longer time frames, you get lower risk trade opportunities and higher probability trades. It's a powerful combination for any trader, and it shows the importance of using multiple time frame in your trading. So if you had a market scanner then that used multiple time frame analysis and the tools that you have at your disposal, it would be an extremely valuable tool because it would do it for you automatically. I see I've got a question, so let me get that question up. So Jeffrey, good to see you, my friend. You've been using the scanner for a long time. You'd like the setting to get a signal if the 20 SMA has a steep incline, okay, or shallow. I have JPEG which shows the question, but I seem to be able to upload the image. Yes, you won't be able to upload the image, but I understand what you're looking for. If I have time toward the end of today's presentation, then I'll be more than glad to see if I can't put that together. So back to the presentation. In finding a scanner, we're looking for a scanner that would be able to do all of these things for us. So in our quest to find one, we searched all over MT4 and MT5 to try to find one. We could not find any. The ones we did find were either too complex to configure, which meant you had to be a programmer to use it. They were unstable, or maybe even a single tool that's not well integrated with this whole system. Incompatible with a lot of indicators. Yeah, there are lots of other issues we ran into. And so our solution then was, okay, we might as well build it for ourselves. Since we were traders, we needed something like this, build a tool that we could use ourselves. So that's what we did. We built a scanner that followed our own strategies and rules that we could configure ourselves and made it as easy as possible. Other people found out about it and started asking us if it was available. And so we started to make it available. And now it's the #1 market scanner on both MT4 and MT5. It's a tool that allows you to instantly scan the entire market for setups that match your own unique criteria and rules and any of the indicators that you're currently using. When you find a good setup, MT4Professional allows you to enhance your trade with technical analysis, giving you multiple time frame technical analysis abilities, which really is not easy to do on MT4 or MT5. If you've tried to do it yourself, you know what I'm talking about. So stay tuned. We're going to go into more, but right now we're going to go right into a live demonstration to answer these questions. So first of all, I want to show you a standard MT4 platform. Here I've got regular MT4. I've got 3 different windows set up. You can see if I go and expand the window, I've got big wide empty space down here that needs to be filled, and I can usually fill that by going to my window and rearranging everything. But if I have windows that are different sizes, then you can see how quickly that would become a nightmare. How you have to physically drag and resize each of these windows, and say that I wanted to go full screen. Well, you can see everything gets messed up then, because if I've got 3 windows the same size, that's fine. But if I have 1 large window and 2 small windows, then I have to manually resize everything. And then when I go back into my smaller mode, if I want to be looking at my navigator or my data window or anything, then you can see it very quickly causes problems. So pull my data window up, you can see I've lost half of my hourly chart already, just like that. I don't want to have to be able to be resizing my windows. I want to be able to do that. Looking at multiple time frame analysis. How do I look at a 15, 30, and hourly chart at the same time? Well, they're all here, and I can expand the charts and look at them individually. But if I want to look at them together, I have to physically look at the time and price on the bottom of the screen to find out the location of this point. Then I have to go over to the other chart and do the exact same thing and locate that same time and price. Then I have to go to this chart and do the same thing, locate that same time and price. And the example I'm doing now is obvious. It's a little bit simple, but if you're looking for a larger picture, then it's really difficult to do this, to find the exact time and price of the comparison that you're trying to see. And then when you're moving it and you're going along, you can't really see that on the other charts. You basically have to look and just visualize it manually, right? Also, if you have to change a symbol, you have to physically go to your market watch, select, and then drag and drop the symbol that you're interested in onto each and every chart that's open. So that's a problem right there. So all of these things are tools to help you use the platform much better. But if you're sitting there messing with the platform, you're not going to be able to make a profit. If you're sitting there fumbling with things and trying to get things set up the way you want them to be, you're not going to be able to take the trade or even find the trade. So these are all tools that are very useful to you to help you to be a better trader. So let's go ahead and launch our MT4 Professional platform. I have it set up as a platform profile. So by selecting that, it automatically launches the platform for me. MT4 Professional is a platform enhancement to MT4. So what it is, it's a configuration-based platform. And so it's set up in a way that allows you to select the configurations based on your specific strategy. Here's one strategy, the EMA and price strategy that we talked about earlier. I'm gonna go ahead and load this configuration. And what this does is it goes ahead and sets up the charts, and it sets up the scanner to look for the specific setups that I want to see and to trade, okay? We're not going to see anything right now on the edge of the market because this is a holiday and the markets aren't open. But what we can see and look at are historical values, and we can also look at the relationship between the multiple time frames. So looking at this setup, I can see the 5 and 15 and 30-minute time frames are all in a bearish condition. You can see that price is underneath the exponential moving average and trending downward. Well, the scanner has already shown us this by giving us 3 red cells. And these cells, we call them color rules, are based upon the strategy that we're using. So if you click the select configuration button, then you can see specifically what those rules are. So if I click edit on that configuration profile, then it shows me the configuration settings. On the right, you can see how I set up the charts the way I have it on the right. So if I click that, then you can see I have a large frame and 2 smaller frames. Well, those are set to 5, 15, and 30 minutes, just like I have here on my charts. Simple pull down menus allow me to change the time very quickly for any chart layout, and it's template driven, so you can load any of the templates that you specifically use in here just by simply clicking the plus sign and adding the template from your template library directly into the platform. Then it will have the look and the feel that you're already familiar with and ready to go. You can rearrange these by moving them around. You can add a different chart. You can tile them. You can change the time frame very easily. And if you don't like it, then you can always get rid of it and change the size back again. So everything is set up to be easy and easy to set up and use, okay? Once you make changes that you like, always hit the save button. Over on the left-hand side is a picture of the scanner panel. You select it, and you can see 2 other pictures, one of the symbol list and one of the scanner. If you select the symbol list, then you can select any symbol that you have access to on your profile, your broker account, to add to the scanner list. These are the items that are going to be currently scanned. Once you find one that you like, select it, click the right arrow, and then add it to your list. If you decide, okay, that's not the right one I wanted, you just simply get rid of it. If you want to search for specific things, then just a simple filter like the euro provides all of the symbols that have the euro in the actual symbol name, okay? Once you have your list set up together and you have it the way you like it, then that's what the platform will search for. If you already have a list configured, you can click the Start from Another Configuration button and load the configuration file that has the symbol list in it that you want to use, and it'll automatically populate that with that profile. Last but not least is the scanner itself. So by clicking on the scanner setup, then you can see the platform layout, the configuration for the rules. Now, these are the color rules that we use to determine what color based upon what strategy we're using. This is the EMA and price strategy. So by pulling down the menu and selecting the edit button, the strategy sets the cell color to a green if price is greater than or equal to a 15-period exponential moving average. Now you can configure this exponential moving average by editing it, and so you can set the period, whether it's on the close of price, whether it's a simple moving average or whatever. You can do all that right there. Or if you have another condition, you can always add that by clicking the plus sign. Clicking this plus sign, going out and finding the indicator in your library. Now these are all the ones that are available to you. Here's an oscillator. There's your MACD. There's your relative strength. So you can use any of these values if you wanted to use those. So I set up and looked at a 14-period relative strength indicator based on the close of price. I want to see that if that is greater than don't have that value, so I'll need to add a constant. Is it greater than 30? And in this case, I want it to be less than 30. If it's less than 30, that means it's extremely oversold. I want to be bullish. That's a good setup. So if price is greater than the EMA and the relative strength is less than that 30, that's an extremely bullish setup. That's the idea that you'd be looking for. I want my cell to be green if that occurs. You can see I can add any other conditions that my strategy dictates right here. Likewise, if this is not true, if for some reason relative strength is not less than 30 or price is not greater than the EMA, that means it's got to be something else. So the bearish condition would be if the price closes less than the EMA. And let's go ahead and throw that in. And if the same indicator, the relative strength, happens to be greater than, in this case, we want to add another constant value of 70. So if it's less than 30 and over the line, bullish. If it's less than the line and greater than 70, bearish. I want to be seller here, I want to be buyer here. So the red color tells me that's where I want to be, and the green color tells me I want to be buying. That's my rule, the color rules for my strategy. If I have any other conditions that I want to add, then I can do that here. Or if I need to add any more, then I'll simply do that there. If you find out after you test it that that's really not a good rule, then just simply get rid of it. Like that, click your OK, and you're exited. Now notice that I have the color rule established and set up for the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the 30-minute. So I have 3 columns that is using that rule set to determine the color of the cells. I can change these to be any time frame that I want. I can add or get rid of them. So if I get rid of this 30-minute, then I'll only have two columns, a 5 and a 15, that's searching for this particular setup. But if I need the 30-minute in there, then I can simply click the plus sign, change this to the 30-minute, and then make sure that the color rule that I have available is turned on. Now I have a third column that's going to search for that color rule on 30-minute time frame. Okay. If you want to be notified when these conditions are met, then make sure that you have the real-time notifications box checked. And if you want the notification sent to you via SMS on your mobile device, then you need to set up your mobile phone number here in the members area, or set up your Telegram account and give the information so that it can send you notifications through your Telegram setup. When you click on that, let me go ahead and pull that up, then it will take you into the members area. So if you go over to MT4Professional.com, you log into the membership area right here under sign in, and it'll take you to this home page. In the membership area, we have an onboarding process of walking you through and making sure that you have downloaded the software, installed it, and that everything is working, especially with the documentation and help center that we have, and we call our solutions base. But it's our knowledge base of information that helps you to see how quickly to get started, the general configuration rules and how to use them, and even how to set up your subscription, how to manage it, how to change your credit card, and so forth, even how to cancel and unsubscribe if you're not pleased. So everything is all in the members area. But one thing I wanted to show you from this point was that you can see the scanner in real time directly from the membership area. So if I'm at my computer and I'm running my scanner and I need to go to lunch, then I don't want to be held back from a potential trade if all I want to do is go out to lunch with my friends. So if I launch the real-time scanner, I want to show you something real quick. Let me pull this out of the way and get this back in. So let me close this profile and get right back to the editor. You can see that I've got the EMA and price strategy set up here, and potential trade setups going out. So if I did get a signal, breakout signal, like you can see right now, you can see it's long, long, long on the NASDAQ setup, CFD. Then if I'm out to lunch and I have want to check on this, then all I have to do is pull up my mobile device, go to my browser, log into the membership area of MT4Professional, click on the real-time scanner link in the members area, and then select the account that you have running. You can't have more than one account running, so make sure you select the account that you are most interested in. This one is my account that I have running right now. So if I select that, you can see right away, I have the actual scanner that is being displayed here, right here on my mobile device. So the question comes up, do you have a special if I sign up? Absolutely, we do. And if you hang on in just a few minutes, then I'll give you the special code for signing up. So what this does is it gives you the ability to see the actual scanner output that we're looking at here. So if I click on one of these links, now notice I'm on the NASDAQ right now, but if I wanted to click on the US 30, for example, or even the pound, then let me click on the pound. Then you can see what's going to happen is it changes the symbol on all of my charts to the pound and gives me a snapshot of what that pound looks like right now. And then I can make an informed trade decision from this information because it's real time, it's accurate and responsive to what I want. It's as if I'm sitting at my terminal right now. And if I wanted to see if the S&P was moving as well, then I can do this exact same thing. It'll switch over to that one, take a snapshot, and display for me a snapshot of that specific setup to see that there's a potential bullish setup coming in right now on the pound and on the S&P. Then all I have to do is from my mobile device, just contact my broker, set up the trade entry, and I'm off. And I don't have to worry about rushing back to the office to take that trade because I have it right here with me. So the mobile application is a game changer, and it helps you as a trader not have to be tied down to your platform. Your platform can stay active and running back at the office, but here you've got it running with you right now. Another thing I want to show you is the snapshot directory. Within the platform, you can see there's a camera mode on the top here. By clicking this, it takes a snapshot of your screen and it stores it in the cloud. Well, everything in MT4Professional is cloud-based, so none of your data, none of your snapshots will ever get lost, and you can always pull them up regardless of whether your hard drive crashes or you lose your computer or what. Once you get set up again, then you're back up and running in no time. So if you go to your snapshots archive, then you can see all of the snapshots that you've taken, and they can all be tagged and organized in such a way that you can easily find them and quickly. You can search for them by date, tag, title, or any description that you've given to it. You can make them public or private if you want to share them, and any public profile, we provide you a link, a shareable link, so that you can put them up on any of the social profiles that you have established for sharing with. Okay. So if you made your entire profile public, then you can share the link to your whole public profile, and then anyone with this link will be able to see the trade setups or charts that you have in your profile. So that's great to do for teams and people who are trading together to do that. All right, so let me go back over here to the platform. Let me show you a couple of things. Number one, I didn't show you this earlier, but the crosshairs are here to show you multiple time frame alignment. Right there, you can see that my mouse can move anywhere on my 5-minute chart, and it follows it on your 15 and 30-minute charts as well. So when I saw this particular breakout occurring, then you can see on the multiple time frames whether that was a potential setup or not. And you can see this is a little bit early, but this was right on. And you can see that's a very strong bullish setup, which would easily have yielded, what is that? 4, well, that's 4 or 5 pips. So it's the early stages of it, as you can see. But that's a 4 or 5 pip move already. So that's still pretty decent. So do you understand? You're starting to get the picture. You can be alerted when this setup occurs so that you don't miss that trade setup on any of the symbols that you have on your symbol list. What is the orange color and the green color? You're probably referring to this as a red color and green color. These are the colors that I've selected that tell me if I want to be bullish or bearish. So this red color here, which might look orange to you, is what I refer to as a bearish color. So when my strategy trades less than the exponential moving averages, then I want to be a seller in this market, not a buyer if it's red. And if it's green, I want to be a buyer in that market and not a seller. So my strategy is laid out right in front of me, and it's very simple to see the colors as to tell me and help me to understand that that is my trade setup and the parameters I want to use. Okay. Let me go into full screen here. Notice that when I did that, all of my charts resized and completely filled the screen. So that's a really nice feature, and I love that because I don't have to worry about resizing any of these windows at all. Even if I wanted to pull up my data window and look at things, then you can see all of the ones that were chopped off before automatically get resized so that I can see them. That's a really nice feature. Okay. So if you have a custom indicator, or if you have made your own software, your own indicators, you can still use them with the scanner. all you have to do is have the output data window to show you the value of the output that you're using. Okay, so for example, if we were to use the, what is the, I'll just pull this one up here. The MACD has two outputs, so I'll just throw that one on there real quick. All right, so notice that here the MACD indicators, the histogram, and then you've got the signal line is shown over here as two separate outputs. You have the actual histogram output there and the value, and the signal line and its value. So this is output number 1, and this is output number 2. So in setting up the configurator, if you had a custom indicator, you would look at the first or the second output to input into this. So any indicator that gives you a data window output can be configured and used with MT4 Professional. So you don't have to worry about having any programming skills or interfacing with it. If it gives you this output, then you can just use the name and automatically pull it up and use it like that. Nice. And I can make any changes I want to this, but if I don't set it up in the configuration, it will automatically redraw to my base setup. So if I were to click now on the euro, then the MACD that I loaded on there will go away and I'm right back to my original configuration, which is beautiful. I can experiment and try things out. And you know that with MT4, it's real easy to mess up your setups. You have to go back in and reload your template just to get things back the way they started from. Yeah. So there's a lot of really nice features available to you here on the platform that you normally would not get on MT4. All right, so let me go back to my presentation because I want to make you a very special offer for those of you who are still here and those who have been waiting. MT4 Professional has a lot of features, full featured platform. It is available for both MT4 and MT5. As I showed you in the membership area, that you can download either one of them, whichever one that you're using. You can even use both of them if you want to. You can use an MT4 and an MT5 if your subscription allows more than one account. Then you can use either one of them that you want. Since it's cloud-based, then you have full access to any of the features within that. You get access to our exclusive Skype community where all of our MT4 professional traders are available 24/7, not only to answer questions, but to share trade ideas and information if they want to. You get unlimited configuration storage, emails, push notifications, and up to 100 SMS notifications per month. Now, if you have a lot of SMS notifications, that is, if you're trading a minute chart or faster, then you might need to purchase a larger bucket of notifications per month. That's a fair price that we offer if you need more. But each month you get up to 100 notifications included, and all of the notifications for excuse me, Telegram are fully included. All of the presets are included as well. These presets are the pre-configured setups that I showed you that give you all the strategies I've been talking to you about. All of them. There's over 14 of them that we have already done for you. And you can use those as examples on setting up your own strategy as well. We say a total value of this is based upon what we believe is a good market value, but we normally set it up at $194 a month, and then we reduce that by 50% and make that our going price. But on today's special, we're going to knock that 50% off price down by another 20%. And for today's webinar and for our Memorial Day weekend, you use the code Memorial23 and you'll get locked in $77 per month as a special. Now that's not just a one-time special. That's not for 30 days, it's not for a quarter, but it's for the lifetime of your subscription if you decide to use it. So use the code MT4Professional.com/trial. Let me see if I can copy that. and paste it in the chat window. There. If you click on that chat window, if it's available to you, then you can click on that link. Then it'll take you to the website, and then on the page where the trial begins, enter the code Memorial23 and it will reduce the price from 97 to 77, and that'll lock in on your account and you'll be fixed for that until you cancel. Now, if you take advantage of our 14-day trial, then you're not going to be charged anything at all for the first 14 days. And then after the 14th day is complete, your credit card will be charged the reduced 20% off our 50% off rate for the remainder of the trial. You can cancel at any time during the 14-day trial or anytime during the regular subscription, and you'll still be able to use the full duration of the trial or your subscription until it ends. But at the end of the subscription, then it will just go away and you will lose access to the software. If you have any questions during the process or need to get a hold of us, then you can always get us at support@MT4Professional.com. Let me type that in for you. Support@MT4Professional.com. We guarantee 24-hour response to any questions that you might have. If we cannot give you a satisfactory answer within 24 hours, then we will contact you and set up a time that we believe we will be able to answer your question. But we will definitely get back to you and let you know that before that's done. Typically, we will get back within 1 to 2 hours, but we guarantee we will get back within 1 day. All right, are there any questions with regards to our offer or the software platform itself? Is there a training showing you how to use? This class that we're in right now is part of a training class, and I answer and show and demonstrate anything that might be going on. We do this live every 2 weeks. I showed you earlier that in the membership area of the MT4 Professional website, if you go into the solutions or the knowledge base, then we have all of our quick start videos, demonstrations on how to use the configurators, the regular setups, the scanners, the charts, even the scanner rules themselves, and how to set them up and to use them. So we've got everything at your disposal ready to use. And we also give you access to our Skype community if you have any questions that you might want to ask in a not regular trading hour time frame. Someone might be there to be able to answer your questions for you. Once you access it and see, you can see that it's quite user-friendly and easy to set up and to use. So let me pull my platform back up again, and I'll leave the link there on the bottom there in case you wanted to be able to see that, and make sure you use the code to get the software discount. But if there's any specific examples you want me to use, then I'll be more than glad to set that up and show you. There was one question initially about looking from Jeffrey. He wanted to look at a 200 SMA. He wants to look at the slope of that 200 SMA. Now, one trick that we use is that when we may pull that one up, it's not an SMA, but it's the same thing. Where is that? No, that's not the one. I think it's called MyMACD. There it is. This specific one uses a relative strength, and what I do is I'm looking for the slope of the relative strength. And so if you're using an SMA, then you'd be looking at the slope of the SMA. You're saying that if it has a steep incline, i.e. a strong trend, or a shallow incline, you have to have that incline measurable. So you have to have some value or some way of saying, okay, what does steep mean and what does shallow mean? That's usually a value, a specific number, all right? So in this particular case, we're looking at the slope of a relative strength being a positive slope or a negative slope. And so how we do that, and I'll edit it for you and show you. Since by looking at this strong signal, then if I were to look at the signal itself, then you can see the relative strength. I'm using a 14 period based on the close of price. I'm looking for the relative strength 2 bars ago. So a historical relative strength, and I'm comparing that to my current relative strength. So if historically, if I'm looking back in time here, and let me just use this as an example. If I'm looking back in time 2 bars, I'll have a historical relative strength. Is that relative strength greater in value than the current relative strength right now? This example says no, it is not. So if that's the case, then this would not be true. Relative 14 is not greater than the current one. Oh, in this case, it is actually. It's the previous one is greater than the current one. This relative strength is greater than the current relative strength. So this would be true. That is a bearish condition. I'm losing strength. I'm losing energy. You do the same thing with a moving average. So if you have a moving average like this one here, and you are looking at the current moving average relative to the historical moving average, then you do the exact same setup. So right here, if I'm looking at the current moving average, and I'm looking 2 bars or 3 bars or even 10 bars, if that moving average is less than the current moving average, I know I'm in a positive slope. Okay, so that's bullish. Likewise, if the previous relative moving average is greater than the current one, then I know that that's in a bearish or negative trend. Now, to measure the strength of the trend, then what you're going to be doing is you're going to be looking at rise over run. So you're going to be looking at 2 specific differences. You're looking at this, okay, this difference here, and then this difference here. So the slope versus the price change. And that will give you a specific value. And then you're going to have to determine if that value is steep, considered steep or not. So in this area here, you can see that the difference between the price is very small. So this is going to give you a very low value. So maybe 20. You just say the relative value of 20. Whereas if you were doing it right in this area, then you can see that you might have a relative value of 70. So you can say, well, if I have something that's greater than 30, that's considered a steep slope. If it's less than 30, it's considered a shallow slope. And that's how you would set it up here in the software. You just look for the relative strength. In this case, how many bars ago that you wanted it to do. And let me show you how that's done. Click on the edit and see you shift it right here by the number of bars that you want to look back. So you have the indicator set up and just shift it, and that's how far you want it to look back. So you compare that to the current value, that will give you a rise. In this case, a specific run. So if you're looking at the moving average itself, then you're looking for the moving average distance. So you're looking at how far it went in price, and then you look at how far it went in time. And that will give you a specific slope. Then you have to determine whether that slope value is enough to be considered steep or not. Once you have the two set up and to determine the slope, then you just compare it to a fixed number. By clicking the plus sign, you can put any constant number here that you want. So say that it's 30, then you can just type in the number 30 and select OK. And then there you're looking at that relative strength has to be greater than, or you can say that the relative strength difference is greater than or less than this value 30. It's best if it were set up like in an indicator, but in this particular case, I don't have an indicator that shows the actual slope of a line. So you have to do it the hard way. Unless you have an indicator that shows the slope. And if you do, then it's even easier. So that's how you do that. All right, are there other questions? For custom indicators, here's some software that I wrote. These are Hawkeye tools. They are set up to show a trend with the automatic trailing stop, momentum, volume, and then higher time frame alignment tools. So the idea behind this is that you want to see if the trend on the current time frame aligns with the directional volume of the higher time frames, and that gives you specific setups. So you can see that I have it set up so that I've got 3 signals on one time frame firing off. The second time frame I have 2 different signals, and then the third time frame I only have 1. So these are the initial tools that I have set up. When they all are aligned the same color, then I know that I have a strong signal and I want to be moving in that direction with a live trade. As you can see right now, there's not a lot set up. You can see the pound yen is currently setting up really nicely for a potential strong move because I'm already in a long trend and it's starting to show some setup weakness. But if this all goes green within a 5-minute time frame, then that's a good confirmation of a directional move. So that's the idea behind it. You see from your setup and your strategies what it is that you're doing. So for any indicator that you might have, always pull up your data window. And you can see from the data window the output of the indicator. So this trend indicator has 3 outputs: trend long, trend short, and trend neutral. At any one point, you'll see the output of the direction or what color it is based upon the output. So if trend short is firing, in this case, you can see it right here, it's red. So that means that trend short should be on, and it is. It'll have a value associated with it. It'll be greater than 0. The other 2, they're just going to be blank. They're going to be essentially 0. So I know at any point what the output of my indicator is going to be. So in my color rules, that's all I'm looking for. I'm looking to see that that output of that indicator is greater than 0. If it happens to be green, then I'm looking to see if the output of the green is greater than 0. Same rule, just looking at the different output 1, output 2, or output 3. And all that's done in the software. It's very simple. It's all menu driven, easy to do. And we have full examples in the members area that show you exactly how to set that up. All right, are there any other questions then as we've reached the end of today's presentation? I don't want to take any more of your holiday time, but if there are questions, now's the time to ask. So remember, you can contact us. Use the link on the screen here to take advantage of our holiday special. Get the 20% off of our already reduced 50% rate. Memorial 23 to lock in your $77 per month rate. And if you need to contact us, it is support@MT4Professional.com. We have these classes every 2 weeks. They're live. Otherwise, I look forward to meeting you and helping you out in the Skype chat room or through the support ticket system as well. So thank you very much for your time and attention and for joining me in today's webinar. I appreciate it. Let's see, Joseph, could you show gold or the NASDAQ 100? Let's see, I don't have it on that list. So let me pull it. Do you want, let's see, I think you might have asked that on the previous setup. So let me pull one that I know has it. There we go. So here's gold. This is a 5-minute. Okay, it looks like it's really gapped up considerably. And it's currently not trading. Neither is the NASDAQ, by the way, but there's the NASDAQ. It's gapped up considerably and, of course, is not trading. But yeah, if you trade gold in the NASDAQ, then the system's set up to do those. If your broker provides the information and the data, then absolutely. And did you notice all I did was click once on the symbol list and it automatically populated all of the charts with the information that I was looking for. Ethereum, all right. This is using the EMA and price strategy. So you're looking for alignment. So it looks, we're waiting for the longer term to come in, and that's a 30-minute time frame based on a 515. So Ethereum is consolidating right now, and you can see that it's still in a specific trade range, but it's longer term, it's broken out into a potential corrective run, because you can see longer term, it was quite bullish. But then now it's started to consolidate and has gone into a consolidation corrective mode. It would not surprise me if it continued in this correction mode all the way down to the previous breakout level, or to even fill in this gap right here. And then turn around, if it does fill that gap, turn around and then start to trend back up again. How do you know when to take the trade? Well, that's based on your own rules. If you have a strategy that says, if, this is a very simple example, but if price closes greater than the EMA and it's validated with a second time frame right here, then that constitutes a price trade entry. So that would mean that when you see your first two time frames go green, then that gives you a trade opportunity to take the trade. Then you take the trade. That's your rules. We're not giving you a platform that has rules. We're giving you a platform where you can enable and customize your rules and to use them based on your own strategy. We do provide you with 14 different presets and strategies that you can use, but you're the one that's using them, that's setting them up, that executes the trades. So you know when to take the trade because it's your strategy. You'll know when to take it. It's what you've already been doing. All right. So do you provide preset strategies? Absolutely. I say we have about 14 of those. So I show you. If you look under these settings, this is what you get when you first subscribe. The presets, all of these are the strategies that we provide you when you initially start your subscription. There's 14 different ones for either MT4 or MT5. And any strategy that your friends might have, you have access to those as well. So you can email them back and forth to each other through our configuration and strategy share setup. Or if you even create one of your own strategies, you can share them with anybody else that you want to share them with. And any of these that you create yourself automatically go up into the top section here that's called created by you. I'm not sure how successful any of these preset strategies are because we have not physically tested them, and the strategies are based upon you as a user, not on the platform. The platform will show you where the signals are, but what your ability to recognize the signal, to take the signal, to trade it, to execute it properly, the success of it's based on you, not the platform. These are here as an example and as a starting point for you. If you don't already have a strategy, these are a good place to start, but I can't guarantee that these are going to give you a successful strategy because I don't know how you trade or how quickly you're able to recognize a trade signal and say, yes, I see that as a bullish breakout. I want to take that trade. Are you going to take it here? Are you going to take it here? Are you going to take it here? Are you going to validate it after this one closes? There are a lot of things that you as a trader would be exercising in order to make that a successful strategy. But the nice thing about the platform is that you can put all of your rules, all of those specific rules in so that when it does come up, it will signal you, send you an SMS or text message to let you know that the trade setup has been met, and then you can exercise the trade and get into it. It doesn't guarantee it's going to be a successful trade, but if you've done your homework and you've back tested that strategy and it is a good strategy, then you're going to have a higher probability that your trade will end in profit because you followed the rules that you've established on your back testing results. This is a really good example here of following longer term. The strategy looks at the close of price relative to the EMA. So at this point right here, you can see that price closed greater than the EMA. So if you're in a short move right here, price closed below, you got short, you can see that price has followed the envelope of that down move quite successfully. But at this point, you would have been stopped out if all you were doing was following the 5-minute time frame. However, if your strategy said that you needed to validate the trade with a second time frame, like the 15-minute, then you can see at this exact same time and price, the same push up on a 5-minute chart did not violate the envelope on the 15-minute chart. So your initial trade entry point here would be held if price came back to this point, because you can see on the 15-minute chart, it did not close above the 15-minute EMA. So that entry point that was validated by the 15-minute then was verified here that you hold, that you continue to hold until you can see a full bar close greater than this SMA right here. That means that the open and the close are greater than the EMA. If that condition is met, then you say, then I need to exit my trade. Or you can validate that at that same point, do I have a close greater than the longer term EMA? In this case, you did not. You could still continue to hold, but a prudent trader would see that this is a strong indication of a potential correction. You don't want to give up all the profits that you had already made. That's a really good sign for an exit. And if it turns around and starts to break and close back down again, then you can always get back in. But the idea behind it is to identify these turning points and see them and bank the profits that you have and move on. So for this particular setup, if you did enter at this point, then you're looking at a potential of 25 to 30 pip profit with a risk of barely, not even 1 pip of risk in the trade. Okay, so if you had exited at that point, then that would have locked in a good 12 pips on the trade, 120 bucks. And that's just one strategy. All right, I'm going to go for today. Thank you very much for your questions. Thank you for your time and attention today. I will be here in exactly 2 weeks for the next live presentation. Until then, visit me in the Skype room or in the members area. I look forward to seeing you and working with you on getting your trading plan going. Take care and have a great rest of your holiday weekend. Bye for now.